We're going to ease into the warm-up. Let's start out with just a body weight squat, right? So feet about hip width. Take that breath in. Sit back, push those knees out. Come up, just take your time. We'll do about 10 or so. Use your breathing. Take your time on the squats. Kind of ease into the first round. Second round, we may pick it up just a little bit. Now I want you to just kind of sit back on your last one. Right? Sit back. You can grab your feet if you want. Push your knees out if you want. Kind of reach, move around a little bit. Right? Elbows into the knees. Open up the hips. Good. Place your hands down in front of you. Now what you're going to do is you're going to drive your hips up and try to stretch the hammies out, drop down, and then drop back, drop up, drive those hips up, stretch, drop down, breathe. Now you're going to stay in this position. You're going to walk your hands out, get into that plank position, and do some push-ups. Take your time on the push-ups. You can modify if you have to. Let's do between 5 to 10, right? Just taking your time. Whatever you're feeling, just to warm up, so we don't have to get too crazy with the warm-up. Good. After your push-ups, we're going to walk your hands back in. Drop into your squat and then come back up. Now let's work on our single leg hinge. Let's stand on one foot, just kind of hinge forward. You don't even have to touch the ground, and then stand back up again. So it's almost like you're doing your single leg deadlift with no weight. Right, work on that single leg hinge. Work on that balance. Right, find that balance. Try to get that head over your foot. We'll do about 5 on each side and then switch. Work that breathing. Come up, stand tall each time. Good. After your single leg hinge, we're going to need to do a one-arm row, or you can do a bodyweight row. You always have your choice if you have rings or some type of piece of equipment at home to do that with. So let's go 5 rows on each side. Good, nice and smooth. Take your time. Extend that elbow all the way. Get that stretch. The back of the shoulder. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Let's just finish up our first warm-up set with some jumping jacks. Just go 15 jumping jacks. However you want to do them. Good. And then you can either go mountain climbers, controlled, or some nice controlled bicycles. Right? Stand the legs, turn the body, bring your elbows towards your knees. 10 to 15 on each side is good. The whole point here is just to kind of wake you up, get the blood moving, get your joints, your muscles ready for a little more rigorous training. So, second set, right? Let's go back to our squats. If you want to add weight, you can. to your squats. All right, I'm just gonna use a dumbbell. Let's do 8, pick up the pace a little bit. Use your breathing. Good, let's keep it down here for the last one. If you have your kettlebell, your dumbbell, you can use that as a little bit of an anchor. Push those knees out, keep that chest up. Straighten the legs out. And then pull yourself back down into that squat again. You can move around a little bit. Straighten out those legs out again. Do a couple more times. Straighten them out and stretch. Good. Walk the hands out. Let's hit our push-ups again. Again, let's go between, I don't know, 5 to 8 or so push-ups. You don't want to wear yourself out on the warm-up. After you're done with your push-ups, you're going to walk your hands back into your feet again. Then you're going to work that single leg hinge one more time. You can always add. Again, if you want to add a little weight, that's fine too. You can hold the weight in either hand. If I'm holding it in my opposite hand, that's going to be a little bit more challenging for me. It's also going to keep me from twisting my body too. And compensating. You don't want to, when you do your single arm dead, you don't want to compensate by reaching towards the ground with your shoulder. Everything should be coming from your hip. See a lot of people doing that. You don't want that. All right, after your single leg dead, let's do just a couple overhead presses, right? Just to kind of get those muscles ready. That's just an option today. Okay, if you don't feel like pushing overhead, you don't have to. Just do 4 on each side. And again, you can always do your presses. You can do your presses from so many different positions too. You don't always have to do them from the standing position. You can do them from the kneeling position. You can do them from the seated position. If you want to change things up, different angles. Good. After our presses, let's just hit our rows one more time. Let's hit like just 4 on each side. I'm getting a little warmed up here. It's a little chilly in this room, but starting to break a little bit of a sweat here. Finish up with our jacks, or you can run in place if you want. Either one. Move around a little bit, shake and move. Jacks, run in place, bicycles, controlled mountain climbers, I like the sliders. All right, we are warmed up and we were heading over to the board to explain what's going on today. All right, so something a little bit different. You guys who come to the gym, you're kind of used to doing strength workouts this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 different movements. So we're going to start with our presses, right? So you can do your presses overhead. You can do them from the floor. You can do a floor press. You can do a push-up. I'll show you guys a couple different variations of pressing. So we're going to work for 20 seconds. So you're going to stay at this exercise for 10 sets. All right, so overhead press for 20 seconds, rest for 15, then switch sides. Do the other side, 20 seconds of work, 15-second rest, and then we're going to go back to the other side again. So we're going to complete all of our 10 sets of one-arm presses, then we're going to rest, and then move on to the next one. So single leg deadlifts, you guys know how to do that. I'll show again some other variations of that. Or you can do a hip bridge, single leg hip bridge, double leg hip bridge, any kind of variation you want of that. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to complete all of your sets, 10 sets of that, rest, move on to the next thing, which is your rowing variation, which could be a single arm row. It could be a body weight ring row. All right, so any of those variations, again, do your 10 sets, 20 on, 15 off, and then move on to your final thing, which are 2 different ab movements. So you choose whatever you want to do. You alternate between the 2 ab movements. 20 seconds of work, 15 rest, 20 seconds of work, 15 rest, for 10 sets. After that, we got a cool 5-minute finisher for you. So let's get this rolling. All right, here we go. Let's get this thing started. So I'm going to set the clock for 20 work, 15 rest. Let this thing rest. 20. 15. All right, here we go. Starting out with our single arm press. Press, floor press, push up, your choice here. So Jim looks like he's going to do some body weight. Brian's going with kettlebell. I'm going to do a kneeling overhead press. I like these. Right? Feel that nice stretch in the back hip too. Keep that glute tight, drive it over your head. Kind of a 2-for-1 here. Nice little stretch as you're pressing at the same time. Good, you got 15 seconds. We're resting. Give 5 seconds. We do like a one-arm variation.
One arm, just kind of hand out to the side.
Yeah, Jim's doing a single arm push-up variation, focusing on one side at a time. Brian's got his conventional overhead press. Make sure you're getting close to the same amount of reps on both sides. You want to really keep yourself, you want to even yourself out here. That's the whole point. All right? We're back to the other side again. I'm going to go seated. A little more challenging if you guys want to try this. You won't be able to use as much weight if you're doing that seated press like that. You can add a little rotation if you want. That's fine. Good, snuff that last one in. Good, back to the other side. Kind of chill here for a little while. We got 5 seconds, and we're back. 3, 2. Now we like to do things on a timer like this. It just keeps everything flowing, keeps it time efficient. I mean, obviously you could do reps, right? You can count reps and not use the timer, but we feel that the timer kind of will hold you more accountable, keep you moving, keep you flowing through, and more, keep it a little more time efficient with that timer. Move back to the other side again. Kind of enjoying the seated press. There we go. Keep those numbers. Try to keep those numbers the same each time. Brian, kneeling now. You move. Good. 5 seconds. 3, get set. If you guys get stuck too, think about squeezing your hand on the other side. So if you hit that sticking point, try to create tension in the opposite hand. That will actually help you finish your press. And I'm going to move back to the kneel again. Left side, right side. Here we go. 2, 1. This is set number 7, right? Set number 7 for us. So it's going to be 5 times on each side. Tuck that last one in again. Kind of move around a little bit in between each set. Shake it out. 2, 1. Let's get a little more challenging now. We got 2 more sets to go. So 1 more on each arm, on each side. Get set. Drive it. Here we go. Use your breathing. Use that tension if you have to. Try to do it as strict as you can. Right? So for those of you doing standing overhead presses, try not to use your legs unless you have to. It's okay. All right, here's our last set right here. Last set right here. And we got a little break. 5 seconds. 3, 2. It's also a great way, if you have a lighter kettlebell, of making it a little more difficult for yourself by doing the kneeling or the seated variations. All right, let's give ourselves about a minute. We're going to move on to our single leg deadlift or our hip bridge variations. Get your stuff all lined up. You can do your single leg hinges also with body weight if you want. You don't need weight. You want to practice your balance. You can also do your single leg hinge with your toe down, like that, if you're having balance issues, all right? It's okay. All right, here we go. Get ready. Going right into this now. Single leg dead or hip bridges. It's like the milkman's got elevated single leg hip bridge going on over here. I'm going to use a dumbbell. I'm going to use a little bit of a rotation on mine. So 2 hands on the dumbbell. I'm going to rotate, touch on the outside, and then stand up. I'm really kind of digging this variation lately. Feels great on the hips. You can put your weight down. You can hold on to your weight. However you want to do it. 5 seconds. All right, here we go. You can hold with 1 hand. You can hold with 2 hands. However you want to do it. You can try different sides. All right. Switch it up. Yesterday I used a sledgehammer. That was kind of fun. Rest here, we go. Sledgehammer, mace, club, cinder block, rock. It's all the same. Water bucket. milk carton, laundry detergent, it's a little bit heavier, right? Good. You feel this in the glutes, you guys. You feel this in that glute that you're standing on. Not in your lower back. A little bit of muscle fatigue in your lower back, but you should never have pain in your lower back when you're doing this exercise. Think about using those hips. Hinging at that hip. If you feel like you're compensating too much, you probably need a little bit lighter weight. I'll show you guys another pretty cool variation. Two. You have 2 weights. 3, get set. You can go one side, the other side, and then both. So left, right, and then, oh, like that. I know, first place, Lisa, that's your favorite one. Oh yeah, those are kicking up. 3, get set. Remember, if you're losing your balance, put that back toe down lightly. It's okay. Owen. Right? If you're struggling, just make sure, be easy on yourself, right? Don't let your ego get the best of you. 5 seconds. All right, we're into set number 7 here. Just in case you're wondering. Left glute's on fire right now. Right, think about pushing your knee out. Try not to let that knee and that ankle collapse in when you're doing your single leg movements. 2, 1. And it's always a good idea, if you can, take your shoes off, right, to do these, especially if you're wearing bulky running shoes that Brian wears, and your foot's shifting around in them all the time. Besides, it will help get your foot stronger. I know a lot of us who run, train in those things, take them off, all right? Your feet will thank you, and then the rest of your body will also thank you after that. It's okay, you're home. You can take your shoes off. Nobody's gonna judge you. All right, this is our last set right here. Last set. How are those feeling? Yeah, you can tell. 5 seconds. Here we go. Oh, yeah. 5. All right. Little breather, shake it out. Do what you got to do. Get a little water if you need. We're moving into our pulling variations. Right? Pulling. If you have 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, you can also use those too. I'll show you a little bit how to utilize that. If you have any kind of item or your bodyweight rows, you can do your single arm variation with that.
Dog leash.
The dog leash is always a good thing, yep. Hook it into your door. Yep, that's a good one. It's got a loop on it already. Show it anyway. Nice strong dog leash. All right, so we got our single arm row situation happening. Let's get it rolling. I know you guys don't like to rest too much, so here we go. Let's do it. So I'm going to hit just a single arm row, kettlebell row. Jim's got the back, the body weight variation right here. You can adjust your body position to make that as difficult as you want, really, right? You can move yourself back to make it a little easier, right? But if you're struggling, again, I know you guys want to do like hard variations and stuff, but if you're like contorting your body into all types of positions to do it, then you need to take a step back. It's okay. Not worth it, right? Not worth getting hurt trying to do the difficult variation. I feel like I need a little bit heavier weight here, but I'll just do more repetitions. Or you can move slower too to make it more difficult, right? That's a good way to intensify the movement. If you feel like the weight's a little bit too light, then slow down the movement, right? Slowing down the movement will intensify that movement. You can also, if you have two items, I'll show you another way of doing your row. It's almost like a renegade row with push down into this kettlebell and I'm pulling this dumbbell. So I'm pushing with this arm, I'm pulling with that arm, right? Creates a nice cool upper body effect. Pushing here, pulling here to the hip, right? Try that. See how that goes. If you have two items, you should. You can always push into like a low step too, right? You don't even need a weight. Push down, pull up. Keep your back flat, right? Try not to round your spine like that. Engage those muscles in your back. Use that, right? Really activate those lats, right? The lats of your arm. Try to use those muscles when you're doing your pulling. Try not to use the muscles in your arm. Try to use the large muscles up in the lat. That's what you're supposed to be using right now, right? A lot of people that's where you can run into some elbow problems, like tendonitis, things like that. If you're overusing your upper body, your muscles, your biceps, tricep muscles too much. Engage the lats, right? Just like you're flexing in the mirror, right? I know some of you do that. Can't hide. It's okay. I know Jim's engaging his lats right now. I can see them. Strong, large muscle groups. I know everybody wants to have big biceps, but you're actually using your biceps here too. Right? That's why we don't do a lot of concentrated, focused exercises, right? Like curls and things like that. They're okay to do every once in a while. But we're using these muscles when you're pulling, using your biceps, shoulders, using your lats. You're also, if you're pushing down on that opposite weight, you're also using the pecs, again, the shoulders, the triceps on that opposite arm. This is our 8th set, by the way, if you're not counting. Sneak one more in there. Right, we have 2 more sets, 1 more on each side. Hope you're enjoying this. Round. Here we go. Whoops. Push, pull, push, pull. Breathe. Yeah, see? Brian's engaging his lats. Five seconds. Nice, smooth, right? Smooth. Oh, man. 3. Get set. Here we go. I know this is not the most exciting workout in the world, but it's extremely effective. That's what we're going for here. Doesn't always have to be like super duper fun, right? You can have fun in between your sets or when you're resting. We're just trying to get you guys a little bit stronger. All right, we're done with that set. Shake it out a little bit, get a sip if you need. Moving on to our final ab choice 1, ab choice 2, alternating between. Pick your poison, back and forth. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I have an idea. I think windmills can count as an exercise too. Mess around with some windmills. That way I can kind of show you guys some other variations. All right, here we go. Let's do this. All right, so the windmill. We're going to start the low windmill. Milkman's going to do some toe touches. Bride's going to do some new core routine. Here we go. Start with the low windmill. Feet are hip width. Reach with the right arm. Hinge. Reach for your weight. Pick it up. Don't need a lot of weight for this exercise. And you're not going to get a lot of reps either. So don't worry about getting a lot of reps. Set it up on the other side. So watch my feet. All right? Something I did. To this side. Over this side. Here we go. Pretend that I have a weight over my head. This weight goes to the inside of my right foot. Take a breath in, standing up. Here's the high windmill now, more advanced. If you're doing it for the first time, super duper lightweight. Super duper lightweight. 2, 1. Feel it up tight. Raise it up. Ooh. Left side super tight. We got 5 seconds. 2, 1, here we go. Right, kick that hip out. Reach the inside of that leg. You can touch the floor if you want. You can. You can tell I haven't done these in a while. Go back to low windmill. You can even do both, high and low. Super advanced. This is good if you don't have great flexibility, right? The low windmill. Again, and it doesn't tax that shoulder on the opposite side as much either. Got good sweat going. Here we go. 3. Get set.
do these with my kids. Press the kid overhead. Do some windmills and get-ups with them. Not so much anymore. Let's combine both the high and the low here. A little more advanced. Although I don't have to go as far down because the kettlebell's there. Ah, yeah. This is set number 8 right here. 3, 2. All right, one more set. 2 more sets, I'm sorry. Put those down for a little bit. Change it up. All right, here we go. Last 2 sets here. Last set right here. Here we go. Those are hard. All right, you guys. All right, so let's just go back real quickly to the board and just go over the 5-minute finisher that we're going to do. You have your choice of a bunch of different things. Whatever strikes your fancy here, right? So if you're training for kettlebell sport, you may want to pick a kettlebell sport item like long cycle snatch. If you want to do jerks and push presses, right? You can also pick burpees if you really like doing those. Now is your opportunity to do 5 minutes of them. Or squat thrusts, you can eliminate that push-up altogether. You can even do get-ups. Get-ups can be done with weight, or you can also be done without weight, right? I think the milkman, that's a Steve Maxwell thing, if you're into Steve Maxwell. He does the arms crossed, he does arms behind. Want to demonstrate, Jim?
I was just gonna, yeah, this was I call it get down, get up, not using your hands. So any way you can get down on the ground without falling. No hands. No hands, repeat.
This is a great practice for seniors too.
You could use your, if you want to use your hands, that's fine. You go down, kick out, boom, fly all the way back. If you want to use your hands, that's fine. It's still getting up and down off the floor. Very important movement. So, advanced, no hands. You want to use your hands? Go crazy. It's great.
Yeah, you can even to do regular get-ups. You don't even need a lot of weight. You can use just an item over your head if you want. So I'll just get up to the dumbbell. I'm not doing burpees, I know that.
I'm going to go to no hands. Get up, get down.
Yeah,
So if I fall and can't get up someday, I'll be fully
exactly.
practiced.
It's great practice for that.
And I don't have my alarm on my neck.
Right, some people get stuck on the ground and they get confused on how to get up. So this is very, very useful information.
Do this for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to get you going.
All right, so here we go. I know 5 minutes of this. Take your time.
Holy.
Use your kettlebell.
This is not going to be the most exciting finisher.
Nah,
But
you guys don't have to watch. Just do it. Do your stuff, right? Unless you want to pick up some tips on,
try some different ways.
right? We're just gonna have some fun here. If you're doing 5 minutes of these get-ups with weight, switch sides each time. Roll around your head. Don't lift the weight over your head, please. Safety first. This is actually also an excellent way just to warm yourself up too. So if you want to warm yourself up in 5 minutes, do some get-ups. Or sit down, stand ups, or whatever the hell, get up, get down.
Get up and you roll your stomach.
Yeah, man, you can change it up.
Over. Sit up.
Again, don't rush it. Right? Don't rush the movement. Take your time. Do it right. If you want, with your get-ups, like Alicia demonstrated the other day, you don't even have to get all the way up. You could do different segments of the get-up. Right? Here, do your press. Come here, put the hips up. Then you can go back down if you want, or you can come here, right? If you want, you can go all the way back down, or you can come up here, windmill back down. I see a lot of people reaching back with their hand. Don't do that. All you got to do is place your hand right next to your knee like that. Right? I see a lot of this. People sit back on their heel. Don't do that. All right? Trust me. Here, and then you're up. Whew. Don't try to complicate the movement. Right. You. Boom. Yeah. Long cycling. Long cycling.
Halfway.
There we go. Halfway. Here, you do a press if you want. Boom, stand. Shake your hips. Ooh, yeah. Right? Use your breathing. Right? Don't hold your breath. See, it's very, very easy to do when you're doing this kind of stuff. You want to hear yourself breathing. You want to throw a windmill in there? You can do that too. I'm feeling super loose right now from all those windmills. Got about 1 minute to go of quality movement. All right, quality over quantity. Even if you're doing burpees, right? You guys are at home doing burpees. Don't flail around. And flop around like a fish. Try to do them with strict form.
30.
Oh. And I know some of you are doing that. Almost there. Whoop. start to settle in a little bit. 3, 2, and boom. We are done. Happy weekend or whatever day is today. Tomorrow, conditioning workout, live at 8. Alicia's doing yoga at 9. Keep you guys updated. Just make sure, read all the stuff that we put on the website too, because it's got some information on there. Pay attention to your app, right, to notifications that go out. Brian did another Zoom conference thing last night. It was kind of cool to have that as another resource. That's it, all right? See you guys tomorrow morning.